Hi, and welcome to This Sustainable Life Untethered, the place where we explore all things mind, body, and nature, and those things that hold us back from living our happiest, healthiest, most sustainable life. I am your host, Alison, and today I've got a solo episode for you all about my sustainability journey. Even though I've started a podcast where sustainability is a focus, I want to make a confession to you, listener, because I'm actually not the most eco-conscious role model. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that I'm not an eco role model at all. I am at best an average eco Joe and very much at the start of my sustainability journey. But, we've all got to start somewhere. And I hope that that I will be able to share my learning and growth with you authentically in real time. So I thought it would be helpful to share where I'm at currently, or more accurately, where I was 2 to 3 months ago. And I say this because that time I wouldn't have been able to articulate any of this because sustainability wasn't really a concept that was meaningful or relevant in my life. It's only now in the present that it's starting to be, that I can look back 2 to 3 months and with that hindsight be able to give this narrative that I'm about to. But, this podcast, it's very important that it's a judgment-free zone because I really believe that we all do the best we can do based on what we knew and what we were able to do at the time. And for those of you who don't know, I'm also a massive oversharer because I think that we have the most interesting and meaningful conversations when we share what's true for us, even if sometimes it's difficult to do so. And while this is a solo episode, hence I know I'll have a great conversation because I'll be chatting with myself, I hope that it might help you to think about your own behavior and maybe make conscious some of those things that you do or don't do. And this is not with the goal of changing those things, but just to become more aware. So without further ado, here we go. Confessions of an eco non-role model. Number 1. I buy shampoo in bottles and hand soap and shower gel in bottles because I always have done. And those are the products that are available at the supermarket. But I recycle them. I don't know what happens to my waste or recycling after it gets collected, but I do my bit by putting it in the correct boxes. Number 2. I'm not going to have children, and I read that that is the single best thing that you can do for the environment. Although you should note that my reasons for not having children are not only environmental. Well, they're not at all environmental. Sometimes I use this as an excuse for when I'm too lazy to do the right thing, like rinse out a peanut butter tub properly so that I can put it in the recycling. Sometimes I put that empty peanut butter encrusted tub right in the bin and I say out loud to myself, well, at least I'm not having kids. My partner, who's a psychologist, told me that this type of behavior is called moral licensing. 3. I don't fly that often. On average, about once per year. It's mainly to Europe as well, so that's fewer carbon emissions than a long-haul flight. Although, to be honest, I don't make my holiday destination decisions on the basis of the amount of carbon emitted. It's just that flights to Europe are cheaper. 4. I have a small car that's pretty economical. Again, emissions were not really a factor in this decision. It was more that I didn't want to literally burn more of my precious money on petrol than I absolutely have to. 5. I don't eat that much meat. In fact, I was a vegetarian for about 5 years and I did it for ethical reasons. I still believe in those same ethical reasons today, but now I eat meat because I like how it tastes in my mouth. And I think this makes me a massive hypocrite. I really, really love cheeseburgers. And oh my God, a bacon and egg sandwich is almost orgasmic. 6. I know that fashion stores can operate unethically, but I've never researched the human and environmental impact they have on the world because I don't want to make an informed decision about whether or not I should continue to shop there. I'd rather stay in the dark, which I think means that I choose bargains over ethics. 7. Governments and organisations in developed countries like the UK tell me that sustainability is a priority of theirs. I trust them. Why would they lie? The main issue with the environmental problems that we have are now probably caused by other less developed countries who are unable to make such commitments or changes. 8. I'm sure technology will solve all our environmental problems. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? Well, we are in need now, so it's only a matter of time before lots of clever people will have it all sorted. 9. I don't really watch the news. It makes me feel sad and powerless. So I know the headlines of what's going on in the world and environmentally, but I've never taken the time to really learn about it. I can't be interested in and research everything. There's not enough time in the day. I do my bit. Anyway, I'm only a tiny piece of the puzzle. The biggest bang for the eco buck will come from big organizations who have a massive corporate responsibility to change their practices. And 10, I'm scared about looking into these issues more deeply because what I find might mean that I have to change my lifestyle and give up doing things I love. And I think that makes me selfish because I'm not sure I want to do that. Woo! Gosh, that was cathartic. I just want to re-clarify a point about judgment because I've used the word confession here. And confession implies that it's negative and bad and wrong. And I really don't want to come from a place of things being bad or wrong. I want to come from a place where we can admit the truth, can admit our truth, and start to look at it, question it, have that personal, deep inquiry as to what are we going to do about this now that we've admitted it. And it might be that we choose to do nothing, or it might be that we choose to do something. But the point is, if you're not honest with yourself, you can never expect to even want to move forward. And this podcast is all about exploring the things that hold you back, and being in denial or being unconscious about those things is definitely one of those things that holds you back. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed my truth, my confessions, my peanut butter in the bin. Oh, it's okay because I'm not having kids. I'm sorry. Confessions. And I'd love to hear more about where you are on your journey. I would love to find out if you share any of the same confessions or things that I do. That'd be really interesting. And as always, if you like this podcast, please subscribe, leave me a review, do all those things. I'm hoping to set up some form of website slash social media really soon so that you can connect with me as well, because I'd love to have a further conversation with you. And yeah, thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you next time.